you all just witnessed is once again the return of a list many of you really enjoyed, where we covered once fantasy magic anime series involving a badass protagonist, and this video here will be pretty much a continuation with even more recommendations for you guys to check out. So, if you're new around here, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the notifications bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping you all waiting, let us begin with the video. Let us kick this list off with an anime series called Lord Marksman and Vanadis, a series revolving around a powerful protagonist with a unique weapon you don't see that often, in which he uses a bow and arrow to fight. He's your typical anime hero, brave, honest, and protects the people he cares for the most. It has great art style. Visually, this anime is quite appealing to watch, and while it may not have the strongest story on its side, I did enjoy the characters a lot in this series, and I think you will guys too. Up next we have is an anime that hoping one day it will get its well-deserved sequel, and that is Rokka no Yuusha, Brave of the Six. One of the most interesting things about this anime is its protagonist, Adalet. He's not your overpowered typical character who has insane abilities, but what he has is trickery and gadgets at his disposal, which he uses against tougher looking opponents that are, would be unaware of what he can do, pretty much. This is a show about trust and betrayal. One of the Brave Six is apparently a traitor, and they need to find out who exactly it is. It's a shame this anime is so underrated, as it really deserves more recognition. Mushoku Tensei, or Jobless Reincarnation, is considered to be one of the greatest isekai anime series ever created, thanks to its driven and engaging storyline and amazing world building that this series has to offer. Not just that, but also it holds a dear place when it comes to character interaction, as a lot of the characters in the show are pretty iconic in a good way, of course. Studio Bind have done an absolute amazing job with this adaptation, for it to be classified as the grandfather of isekai. I think many isekai series should definitely, take notes on what makes a good isekai stand out, just like Mushoku Tensei. Alright, so how about this time now, an underrated series revolving around a game world where our protagonist makes a lot of bad choices at the very start to then needing to overcome them. This anime here is called Full Dive RPG. This anime is pretty funny and at the same time very entertaining to watch to its fullest. The protagonist plays an MMORPG game where he accidentally killed his best friend at the very start of the game, causing him to earn an unexpected title for the rest of the game, and from there, he has quite the worst beginner's luck. Now he must somehow overcome these mistakes, get stronger, and climb his way to beating the game. Will he beat the game? Who knows? Find out by watching. Right up next on the list is an anime series adapted from a game, and it is called Scarlet Nexus. While the game itself was very enjoyable to play, the anime was not too perfect. It had some issues, but action-wise, it was pretty damn awesome. Mysterious creatures known as Others feed on human brains, and it's up to the trained Others Suppression Force, an organization specialized in using high-tech weaponry and abilities to take down the Others and protect humanity from danger. It's pretty action-packed if you ask me, and you all might enjoy this one a lot. Ixion Saga is another game adaptation by Brainsbase, and actually one of the more better adaptations in anime, which is quite surprising considering game adaptations don't do very well in the long term, but this one ended up doing really good actually. The art and animation are unremarkable, though far from being bad, and the story is quite simplistic, which is not really a big issue, but even a simple story like this can be good. But what's a huge plus is the characters themselves. Amazing development with a lot of personalities to keep the flow fresh and entertaining, which I always appreciate this anime doing so. Definitely check out Ixion Saga when you have the chance. Now right after this is a huge underrated shonen series that many people have overlooked, which is quite the constant issue that seasonal anime are definitely facing these days, and this one here is called Radiant. Following a young boy named Seth, he wishes to become the best sorcerer there ever was, but unfortunately sorcerers are hated by humans, and he for one doesn't even have that much magical power to begin with, and mainly uses one single move which can turn out to be extremely weak. Now he wants to turn things around and show the world that sorcerers aren't bad people after all while also trying his hardest to train his body to become a stronger being. Yozakura Quartet. Now, I haven't heard this name in so long that this one is actually the reboot of the original Yozakura Quartet, but just in case, do watch the original, as you might have missed out on important character detail and all that stuff. But the reboot was actually a lot better than the original, from story to characters, and most definitely the improvements in the art style. It felt more vibrant, more flashy with the animation, and for that specific reason, the reboot, in my opinion, was a big step up. Definitely check out this anime out if you haven't seen it yet. Now, up next is an anime series revolving around an MMORPG where the female main protagonist doesn't like to get hurt, and I'm talking about BOFURI. This is one of the more popular anime back when it aired, and it's very soon getting its long-awaited sequel this year. Following the female protagonist named Maple, she doesn't like to get hurt at all and spends all of her hard-earned points in-game on vitality or health to pretty much level up her health completely, increasing her defense drastically to the point where she becomes an unkillable tank. It's a really fun concept, yet you don't see too often, and it sure is pretty damn funny. So this anime is definitely worth the trip. Now, finally on the list we have is an anime series by the name of My Isekai Life.
どうやら俺はいわゆる異世界に転生してしまったようだ。職業はテイマー。
Now, keep in mind that this anime has not actually aired yet, but will be out next season, which is not that far away, to be honest. Now, the main character actually gets summoned to another world. Before, he was a monster tamer, which sounds cool, but later, after discovering some magical books along the way, he gained an even more powerful status of a sage. Now, sages are very powerful than your usual casters. Pretty much he has overwhelming power in this world that he got isekai to, and quite potentially he is now the strongest being in the world. It sounds pretty cool, and I cannot wait to see it when it's released.
これで届く!
This is about all I have to recommend for today, but I hope you all found some new anime to watch on your spare time. If I've managed to leave any anime out in particular that you thought would be a great addition on the list, then let me know in the comments down below, as I'd love to hear your own opinion. Or just comment down below what you thought about the video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.